Hello guys, I welcome you to my channel One English, in which we are going to learn about the English language in a comprehensive way. Um, as you may realize, the most important thing about learning English is to have a good vocabulary, at least a working vocabulary. And while you learn the words uh, from the dictionary or any of the apps from this channel itself, you will come to acquire the knowledge of uh, many grammatical points. So it's not possible for you to learn the words and know nothing about the grammar. They will always be complementary. And today we will be learning 10 words, and hopefully we can do it for say the next 1 month without break, so that at the end of it we will have three about 300 words, and which will be quite a good, uh, I think, quite a good number to start with. And while we are doing this, I will also be uploading some videos on grammar, starting with tenses, etc. And what we have to keep in mind while uh, following this channel is that you must avoid translating these words into your native tongue. I mean, if you do that, you will never be fluent in English. And if you rely on translation, then your vocabulary will also be very limited. So, from both these points, it's very important that you try not to think about your mother tongue, the words, equivalent words in mother tongue, because that will be rather counterproductive. Okay, so here we start. The first word is abandon. Today, I will take up the 10 words which always start with A. Tomorrow it will be, and so on. After we are done with all 26, then we will repeat it again. So the first word is abandon, and abandon means to leave somewhere with no intention to return. Actually, one of the meanings. There are several sets of meaning of this word, and one is that you leave somebody or something with no intention to return. For example, abandon ship. That is the most common example you would find in the dictionaries and otherwise also. Abandon ship. If your ship is sinking and no help is in sight, you will get your lifeboats and leave the ship. So abandon ship is one of the examples. Similarly, a game may be abandoned because of friends. Or any other reason. Friends, or maybe the crowd has gone, wild, and they are not allowing you to play. Any of this will. The game may have to be abandoned. Similarly, one may, as you find in the Hindi movies, one may abandon their newborn kid. Where? At the steps of a temple. And then they would go and hide behind a tree and watch until someone comes and picks up the baby. And you very well know that this is not the end of the story. They will meet together. They will meet again at the end of the movie, and it will be happy ending. These are the meanings where there is some sense of uh, something which should not have happened. For example, a game should not have been abandoned. You may not have been forced to abandon your ship. And similarly, the last one, in very dire circumstances only, one would think to abandon their kid at the stage of death. But in another shade of meaning, abandon, for example, if you are dancing with abandon, then it has a positive sense here. You are so happy that you are letting go of all your inhibitions, all your restraints, and you are dancing with wild abandon. Sometimes it says wild abandon. Then it has a positive meaning here. So, I think with this we are done with abandon, and we can move to the next word, which is abject. Not object, abject. And this means to extreme degree, something bad, extremely bad. For example, abject poverty. Somebody might be living in abject poverty when they have not enough money to fulfill even their basic necessities like food and clothes, etc., medicines, etc. Then we have abject surrender. For example, when your team, uh, in in answer to the total of 356 gets out for just 123. So when your team gets out for 126 in answer to 356, what do you think the next day's newspaper's headlines will be? Abject surrender by Indian players. Here abject means pathetic in a very negative sense. Abject surrender, complete surrender. And I mean something for which the players have to be blamed. It has got that shape. In the year 2011, when we got whitewashed by England in the Test series, it was the Oscar who said that it was an abject surrender. I read an article in Hindu where Sanjay Manjrekar and Babunath Karnai, Kapil Dev, and Dilip Venksankar and Gaskar. They all criticized the players for their lackluster performance. And who do you think used this word abject surrender? It was Gaskar, of course. Why, of course? You know that. Then we have abject apology. Abject apology means too submissive and apology. If you have done something wrong and you are apologizing, that's not such a bad thing. But it depends your tone, your choice of words. An abject apology means you are writing a very submissive and very degrading kind of apology. So that has got a very negative tone. Then you have abject apology, surrender. Grief. Let's say abject grief. when somebody loses their near diagnosis in an accident or forget, then the grief may be described as abject. So with this we are done with abject and we move to next word which is alleviate. Alleviate means to lessen the intensity of pain or intensity of anything painful. For example, there might be drugs to alleviate your headache, and there might be measures from the government to alleviate poverty. And maybe to alleviate unemployment. So alleviate is rather a simple word, and there are not too many sets of this word. So we can move to the next word, which is ambience. Ambience is with E here, but it can also be A. That is the alternative spelling, but this is generally preferred with E. Ambience means atmosphere of a place, atmosphere and mood, you could say. For example, when you go to a wedding, it's a kind of festive ambience. And when you go to a five-star hotel, it will be a luxurious ambience. Or when you go to the Taj, for example, in Agra, it will have what kind of ambience? Mm, should be romantic ambience, but predominantly it's an aesthetic ambience because of the beauty of Taj. And if you have a luxurious ambience in a five-star hotel, you will also have, I mean, someone may appreciate the ambience of a roadside dhaba. You know, the Japanese and the tube lights, colored tube lights, and aroma of the food being cooked in front of you. And most of all, loud music. They all contribute to you know an ambience which may be quite likable. Many people like it. They keep looking for a chance to eat at a dhaba because of this ambience and food, of course, also for the food. So next word will be ambivalent. Is it fourth or fifth? MB, you must, you may already know. MB means both, and valent means strength. In chemistry, you have valency. How many atoms would a particular atom be combined? That is its valency. So ambivalent means strength on both sides. There is an issue, or there is a subject, or there is some matter, and you cannot decide which side you are on. You have a strong preference for both the sides. Then you are ambivalent. For example, one may be ambivalent about marriage, or you may have you may be ambivalent about joining armed forces because you are pacifist. You don't believe in violence, even if it is for your country. So you are a pacifist, and you may have ambivalence about joining the army. Similarly, couple in the early years of marriage, in the early years of their marriage, may be ambivalent about having a kid. Okay, guys. So next word is ambivalent. Ambivalent basically means in two minds. Or undecided. Basically, if there is an issue and you have views on both sides of it, you are unable to decide which side you are on, then you are ambivalent. For example, one may be ambivalent about studying abroad. OAD. Or one may be ambivalent about any issue. Marriage, or a couple may be ambivalent about having a kid. So ambivalence is the noun. And generally it is used, this MB thing, it means both. Ambivalence is strong or strength, to be strong. So when we have when you have views on both sides of an issue, then you are ambivalent about it. Government policy may be ambivalent. In the sense that the government does not want to antagonize any of the two groups affected by the policy, and therefore they may keep the policy deliberately ambivalent. Okay. So next is we have taken up object and abandon, alleviate, and then ambivalent, and now we have adroit. Adroit means skillful, physically and mentally both. So you may play a shot adroitly, or one can be an adroit leader. Something which hints at craft or even cunningness. Craft. In the case of a cricket shot, it will be a craft. A leader may be adroit. Cunningness may be involved. Basically, you do something very skillfully with some expertise. That is doing things adroitly. And then you have absorb. Absorb means to declare that somebody is free of guilt. It's a formal word. A court may absolve you of all charges and a priest may absolve you from all your sins. So, sorry. Absolve you may be followed by of or from. Any of these two. Very formal word. Informally, you can say forgive. Not forgive. You declare somebody innocent. Absolve you of all sins. Absolve from all sins. To say that you have not done it, basically. That is absolving, not forgive. The priest doing this, it has got a word. When the priest absolve you, it's called absolution. And the next we have evident alleviate. Yes. Ambience. Ambience means atmosphere of a place, not the weather kind. Atmosphere or mood, you could say. For example, you go to a particular restaurant repeatedly because you like the things there, the food of course, plus the decor, the lights, the music, or the ambience. It's also written with A. AMBIANCE. ENCE and ANC both are common. This is both common. This is preferred. The ambience of a five-star hotel, you could say a five-star ambience. luxurious ambience. And it's not that something has to be grand to allow you to use this word. Even a roadside dhaba may have its own ambience. Several people like it because of say the decor, the charpais, and you know the tube lights attached to the poles, the colored tube lights, and of course the loud music when the hits play along, and the aroma of the food because it is being cooked right in front of you. They all add up to the ambience of the dhaba, ambience of roadside dhaba. So, ambience is basically atmosphere of home. For example, if you visit a Taj, what kind of ambience is there? Young couples are there, and it has a romantic ambience. But generally, people find it aesthetic ambience because of the beauty of the Taj, of course. Then you have appease. Are you recording? Yes. You appease, you grant some concession to somebody or a group in order to pacify them. So if you think that granting a concession could prevent the things from getting worse, it would be called appeasement, and it has got a negative connotation, a negative sense, undesirable kind of thing. In the Second World War, Britain followed the policy of appeasement, appeasement of Hitler, which, as you all know, failed miserably. Appease a group, appease an individual, appease a nation, and appease is a formal word. Formal with a negative connotation. Then you have adjectives. Adjectives means painstaking. And adjectives worker means somebody who works hard and who takes pains to see that the things are done well. It may also be used to describe research, for example, and as it is research. As it is research and as it is worker, as it is efforts, or most as it is service. Taking pains to see that things are done well, basically. And then you have You have done elevate, absolve, attract, admonish, ambivalent, ambience. Are we done? Excellent. So let us recapitulate all the words, 10 words, along with their collocation. It's very important to keep the words in your mind. Always think of the words along with its collocation, most important collocation. For example, when you think of object poverty. Similarly, abandon ship. Absolve somebody of a wrongdoing or of a crime. Appease a group or appeasement of Hitler. To play a shot adroitly, expertly. Admonish a junior. And ambivalent policy. Ambient. Ambience of a dhaba. Assiduous and assiduous research. One more. What is that? One more. What is that? Elevate. So, these are our 10 words today, and we know about their collocations. And remember, unless you remember the words along with collocation, these words are not likely to stick with you. That is more or less certain. Otherwise, in the books there is a long list, and you can read them and you can even memorize them momentarily for the moment, but you are likely to forget them quickly. So you had better keep the words at a reasonable number, say 10 daily, and after 30 days you may have 300 words, and this will not be a bad thing, quite good in fact. And to learn English, whether you want to speak, whether you want to, you know, you are preparing for some exams, uh, vocabulary is the most important thing. The people, when they are not very fluent or when they hesitate or when they are underconfident, it's not because that their grammar is weak, in my opinion. It's because their words will not come to them promptly when they want it. And most of the time, it is their mother tongue. The words in the mother tongue, they will keep, you know, invading their thoughts. So it's better not to think of, for example, admonish, undo. This word admonish, if you think of the equivalent in Hindi, for example, not now. So you may grasp the meaning maybe quickly, but as soon as you associate this word with the Hindi word, you have immediately created a block. So you had better stick with English itself rather than translating, and always try to remember the words with at least one character, basic meaning, like this list. So, you guys, that will be all for today. Thanks so much for your presence. Thank you.